Hello everyone. Thank you very much for watching Sigma Stage Online. I'm Kazuyama Ki, CEO of Sigma Corporation. Today, I'm very excited to introduce you a brand new lens from Sigma. What we are announcing today is Sigma 150-600 F5-6.3 DG DN OS sports. Being DG DN, this lens has been designed for full-frame mirrorless cameras. This lens will be available in L-mount and Sony E-mount. Sigma already have two similar spec lenses in our current product lineups. They are both 150-600 5-6.3 DG OS HSM. One in sitting in our sports line and one in our contemporary line. These two lenses shared exactly the same optical specification but different product concept. Sports line version has been designed to achieve high reliability in challenging shooting situations where ultra-telephoto lenses are often used. In order to achieve it, this lens is equipped with a dust and splash resistant structure and made entirely with aluminum housings. On the other hand, the contemporary version has been designed to achieve high versatility. In order to achieve it, this lens has more compact and lightweight design so that a wider range of customers can use it in a wider range of shooting situations. These lenses have been well received by many DSLR users and still very popular even today when the mirrorless cameras is becoming more mainstream. Actually, the contemporary version is still in short supply due to the consistently high demand. We believe there are mainly two reasons why these lenses are so popular. First, it covers 600 mm. The focal length of 600 mm makes these lenses perfect to capture the subject like birds, wildlife, sports, motorsports, and so on. Also, both of these lenses achieved a very high optical performance across entire zoom range. So two things, covering 600 mm focal length and achieving the very high optical quality across the entire zoom range. So these are the key for the popularity of these lenses. Having said that, these lenses are not free from the complaints. First of all, the current contemporary version users wished it had a dust and splash resistant structure. And sports version users are not happy with its weight. This lens might be too heavy for some users. So when we started the project of developing the new 150-600 for full-frame mirrorless cameras, we decided to keep the advantages of the existing 150-600 for DSLRs and also solve the problems with the existing 150-600 for DSLR. In order to achieve it, we set out three goals, which are even better optical quality. In the beginning, I was not sure if we should aim to achieve even better optical quality because the optical quality of the existing 150-600 are already good and well received by the many users. So in the beginning, I was inclined to make this lens in contemporary line version to make it more compact and lightweight. However, our engineer said to me that it's not the right direction and there is more room to improve. And they said to me that let us try to make it even better. After I listened to engineer's opinion, I'm fully convinced that we should aim to enhance the optical quality of the new 150-600 over the existing 150-600. The second goal is to implement the mechanical features required for our sports line. Third goal is to make it compact and lightweight. So today, I'm very happy to introduce you the new 150 to 600 DG DN OS sports for full-frame mirrorless cameras that achieves all of these goals. So from now on, I'd like to explain how we achieve these goals one by one. First one is even better optical quality. So this is the lens construction of this new 150-600. It has a 25 lens element in 15 lens groups, including the 4 FLD glass, which are shown in yellow here, and the 2 SLD glasses. FLD glasses has exactly the same characteristic as fluoride. So these lenses help to enhance the optical quality of the lens significantly. These are the MTF charts of the 350 to 600. The new 150 to 600 DG DN OS sports is on the left, and the rest of the two are 150 to 600 for DSLRs. MTF chart shows the expected optical quality of the lens. The vertical axis shows the optical quality, and the horizontal axis shows the image height. The left-hand side shows the center of the image, and the right-hand side shows the periphery of the image. In short, the higher the curves, the higher the optical quality. The top three charts shows the optical performance at wide end of 3 lenses at 150 mm, and the bottom 3 charts show the optical quality at 600 mm. These 3 lenses perform very well, which proves the great reputation of the existing 150 to 600 for DSLRs. But please look at the 3 bottom charts. The new 150 to 600 performs better than the existing 150 to 600, especially in the periphery of the image. This superb image quality of the new 150 to 600 becomes more obvious in geometrical MTF chart. The previous MTF charts are diffraction MTF charts. This geometrical MTF is free from the diffraction effect, so you can check the real design data very easily. Again, please check the bottom charts. The MTF of the new 150 to 600 is very high and very flat, which is more like a MTF chart for prime ultra telephoto lens. Actually, the optical designer of this lens aimed to achieve the prime lens class optical quality, and I believe that he achieved this goal. So conceptually, you can think of this lens, the 600 mm prime lens, with the ability to zoom to the wider focal length. This optical designer took into consideration all the aspects of lens design to achieve such high optical performance. But in particular, he focused on suppressing coma, astigmatism, and lateral chromatic aberration. This is an example of coma. Coma is an optical error shown in the periphery of the image with a tail-like comet. This coma causes a loss of detail in the image. This is an example of astigmatism. Astigmatism is similar to coma, which are shown in the periphery of the image. But in the case of astigmatism, a point image spreads into 2 directions, meridionally or sagittally. This astigmatism also causes the loss of detail in the image. This is the example of lateral chromatic aberration. If different wavelengths do not focus on one point, it introduces a color bleeding. So the optical designer successfully suppressed coma and astigmatism and lateral chromatic aberration with this lens. The suppression of coma, astigmatism, and lateral chromatic aberration can create a very sharp and crisp and high contrast image, not only the center, but also in the periphery of the image. This is a sample image taken with the new 150 to 600 DG DN OS spots. As you can see here, this lens can provide a very sharp, crisp image, not only in the center, but also in the periphery of the image. Another important optical specification of this lens is close focusing. The minimum focus distance at wide end, 150 mm, is 58 centimeters. So this lens is very useful not only for capturing the faraway subject, but also capturing the close-up subject. So in this way, we were able to enhance the optical quality of the new 150 to 600 DG DN OS spots over the existing 150 to 600 for DSLR. We are sure that this new 150 to 600 can truly satisfy the high standard of the serious photographers. The second goal is to implement the mechanical features that are required for our sports line. As I mentioned earlier, we have received many requests from the current contemporary version users to implement the dust and splash resistant structure, and we did it. This is an illustration of the new 150 to 600 DG DN OS spots. Red part is a sealing rubber which prevents liquid or fine sand from getting into the lens. This lens also has a water and oil repellent coating. This coating allows the water to disperse quickly on the glass surface. So thanks to the dust and splash resistant structure and water and oil repellent coating, this new 150 to 600 DG DN OS spots can be your go-to gear in many different shooting situations, such as in the rain or in the desert. Also, we believe autofocus speed is crucial for this type of ultra telephoto lenses. And we and quiet autofocusing with this lens. And also, the optical stabilization is very important for this type of ultra telephoto lenses. The OS of this lens gives 4 stops worth of extra shutter speed. This lens has many features and functionalities to accommodate the requirements of the serious photographers. First of all, this lens has 3 AF lock buttons in the middle of the lens body, where you hold the lens with your left hand, allowing you to access these buttons easily and quickly. By holding this button, you can lock the focus. Or in Sony E1 camera, you can set this button to custom function. This is a zoom torque switch, which Sigma has implemented for the first time. This switch has 3 settings, S, T, and L, which means smooth, tight, and lock. If you set it to smooth, you can move the zoom ring very smoothly. If you set it to tight, the zoom ring rotation torque gets heavier, and you can set the zoom ring at any given position without worrying about the lens creep, should you point the lens up or down. You can also lock the lens, the zoom ring at the wide end, 150 mm. This is just an example how to use tight setting. If you this switch to tight, the front unit won't strip, but you can still fine-tune the framing. So this is a very useful feature. These are other switches on the lens body. Top switch is a focus mode switch. You can choose autofocus or manual focus. Second switch down is a focus limiter switch. You can set it to full, or you can limit the focus distance from 10 meters to infinity, or from minimum distance to 10 meters. Third switch is OS switch. You can choose OS mode 1 or OS mode 2 or off. OS mode 1 is for general shooting. OS mode 2 has been designed to work while you are panning. The bottom switch is custom mode switch. You can choose C1 or C2 or off. With the default setting, C1 is OS dynamic view mode, which offers more recognizable OS effect. C2 is OS moderate view mode, which offers more natural composition in live view. The Alka Swiss compatible tripod socket is included with this lens. The tripod mounting works very smoothly and have mechanical click at every 90 degrees. The hood is fixed in place with a screw, and the front part is covered with rubber. So it does not damage food even if the lens is placed upside down. The third goal is to make the lens compact and lightweight. As I mentioned earlier, current sports version users are not happy with its weight. It's mentioned in the center, and the weight is 2.8 kilogram. The new 150 to 600 DG DN OS Sports in the left is 2.1 kilogram. It's much lighter than the current sports version. Actually, it's closer to the contemporary version, which is 1.9 kilogram. Tripod mounting is fixed to the lens, but the socket is removable. So if you don't use a tripod and remove the socket, the weight of the lens becomes 2.0 kilogram. In order to achieve such a weight reduction, every possible effort has been made in the mechanical design. And this is a characteristic example of such effort. This is a part called fixed barrel, which acts like a framework of entire lens. Multiple lens units move inside of this lens, so it must be robust, and this lens must be made with very, very high accuracy. In order to make this part very light, we used our proprietary TSC, thermally stable composite, which is as lightweight as the normal engineering plastic, but has much higher stiffness. The challenge was to mold such a long and large diameter part with very, very high accuracy. It's quite difficult and very challenging. Due to such difficulties, aluminum is normally used to make this part. But in case of Sigma, we had a very advanced mold die design technology and very advanced mold manufacturing technology at our Aizu factory. So, thanks to such advanced technologies and close collaborations between lens designers, engineers, and factory staff, we were able to make this lens with very high accuracy. Without this technology, and also the close collaborations between the engineers, we would have to use aluminum for this part, again, which makes the lens very heavy. Or if we use some kind of plastic for this part, anyway, we would have to separate this part into two, which makes the lens bulkier. Now, I'd like to share with you the beautiful sample images taken with this new 150 to 600 DG DN OS boats. First group of pictures were taken by Mr. Jürgen Tapp. He took this lens to 3 Porsche motorsports races. Thanks to very fast and accurate autofocus, he could capture very fast-moving Porsche cars perfectly. He also liked very much its compact and lightweight design. He was also impressed by the superb optical quality of this lens. He also took this lens to the beach to capture surfer in the ocean. The zoom range covering from 150 to 600 was perfect to capture surfer in the ocean perfectly. Second group of pictures were taken by Mr. Trevor Ryan McCall-Pitt. He took this lens to a national park in South Africa. Being an ex-safari tour guide, he knows where wildlife is and took these very impressive eyes of the wildlife. He also really liked the compact and lightweight design of this lens. And also he was impressed by the superb image quality of this lens. Very impressive images from National Park in South Africa. Next group of pictures were taken by Mr. Simon Lloyd. Recently, he moved to a new house and he started his own project to capture small animals, wildlife, who visit his garden. And the new 150 to 600 millimeter helped to capture such small birds and successfully and create such a beautiful images. He also take this lens outside and successfully capture these small animals and small birds successfully and create such a beautiful images. Next group of pictures were taken by Mr. Michael Ginzburg. He took this lens to Antarctica to capture the rare wildlife over there. He also liked the very compact and lightweight design and also impressed by the superb image quality that this lens provides. And also, I'm pretty sure that this lens works perfectly with very high reliability in a very tough environment in Antarctica. The last group of pictures were taken by Mr. Xiao Gu. He took this lens to Inner Mongolia to capture great gray owl. Thanks to very fast AF and accurate AF, he could successfully capture great gray owl and took these very impressive images. He was also impressed by the superb image quality that this lens provides. He also found the family of Cossack fox in the field and took these lovely pictures. Very impressive image, and he really liked the very sharp image from center to periphery of the image. Now my presentation is closer to the end. For L mount, the 1.4x teleconverter TC1411 and the 2x teleconverter TC2011 are available. Also for L mount, Sigma USB dock is available. You can customize the focus emitter setting with USB dock. So this is a brief introduction of Sigma 150 to 600 DG DN OS ports. For more detail, please check our website. This is our second ultra telephoto lenses for the full frame mirrorless cameras. For those who need the ultra lightweight, I recommend 100 to 400 because it's just 1.1 kilogram. For those who need a longer focal length, this 150 to 600 DG DN OS ports would be a perfect choice because focal length 600 mm would be perfect to capture the subject like birds, wildlife, sports, and motorsports. The last but not least, the price of this lens is $1,499 or €1,399 or £1,199. This lens will be available August 27th worldwide. Thank you very much for watching my presentation until the end. I'm sure that this compact, lightweight, but superb optical quality lens will open up your new photographic experiences. Thank you very much.